Then all of a sudden I applied. Then I got the answer a couple months later, hey, I won. They're choosing me? Why are they choosing me? Well, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to get there? Do you think I should do it? Oh, we want you to be a keynote speaker. I said, what? Somehow it worked.
So, Dr. Salvin, it's your last day in Bombay. How are you feeling?
It is. I'm sad. I really am, because it's taken me, like any place, a few days just to get acquainted. Don't forget, came in because of the event, and there wasn't really time to sightsee. But now that I've been driving around and sightseeing, and Amanda friendly explained to me the traffic when everybody honks and go to the left or go to the right, and Chris, everybody's saying, everybody just gives eye contact and somebody has no crash, but everybody's just doing their wild thing, and this city moves on its own. It would never fly in LA, literally. It would not.
So today we're seeing the Hare Krishna ISKCON Temple, and we're going to a Gurudwara.
So, good evening, Doctor.
Hello, Russell.
Ms. Krina.
Hello.
So, we were talking just now about relationships and how spirituality and the metaphysical have come to mean the same thing, and a little bit about relationships and how love can be found not just among partners but in families and people you can rely on, support systems that you build for yourself. So, who's been the support system in your life? Maybe the earliest person you can remember that supported you.
Oh, my mom and dad, of course, because we all grew up with our parents. And then sometimes we have siblings that we love and sometimes we hate them. We fight all the time. There's also the soul circle, which I've come to learn through my career and evolution.
Let's talk a little more about the soul circle. So, the soul circle is a circle of people you find and
people that you gravitate to, people that you get along with, people that you vibe with, people that you are compatible with.
like Paula. I remember you mentioning her being an early friend and
when I
someone
was
you
in
really
Girl
look,
Scouts,
and you still think about her.
Yeah,
and
of course,
want to
because
reach
I
out
always
to her.
wonder what would have happened when there was a girl that I did a lot of played guitar with, and we were writing songs, and her mother worked for a record company, and my dream was to go into music. But something happened, and my mom put a stop to that friendship. I never knew why. My mom said, you can't be friends anymore. And she came to the door one day and said, I can't be friends with you anymore. I was 13. And what do I know?
Do you think she'd still be part of your soul circle?
If that wouldn't have happened.
If your mom didn't direct you to do that
probably.
thing?
Either that or I would have gotten in a lot of trouble because she may not have been the right influence. My mom was very intuitive that way, where she tried to guide me.
So you trust that everything's happened for a reason?
Absolutely, everything happens for a reason. Whether or not I fight it, like it, or accept it, everything is ordained.
So there is a guiding hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're
There's
just
something out
letting
there.
it
Absolutely.
guide you.
Oh, there is definitely divine intervention.
Do you have a spirit guide?
I don't call it a spirit guide.
What do you call it?
I don't.
You don't call it?
See, I don't
love
buy
this.
all that.
I don't like putting it in a box for a label either.
I don't buy all that. The spirit guide said this, the guide said that.
I just go with it,
if you're hearing voices. Some people do. Some people see the horse. Some people see the Indians. No.
You just know that what comes out of you is the way because
it's channeled.
you believe.
It just is. I used to distinguish God over here and a workshop over there and me over here. I used to compartmentalize my life and my family, my work.
But we're all one.
And now it's just all one blur. I show up and here it is.
I love that. We're all one blur.
Yeah.
That's what this place is.
Because I've integrated. Because first you start out in fragments trying to figure it all out. But it's like making the decision. When I first got the email click, delete. Okay, Dr. Salvin, click, delete. I kept deleting these emails because I'd been through these workshops. It's like, Maureen, I'll pay your fee and do this. Then all of a sudden I applied. Then I got the answer a couple months later. Hey, I won. They're choosing me. Why are they choosing me? Well, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to get there? Do you think I should do it? Oh, we want you to be a keynote speaker. I said, what? Somehow it worked. The bills always get paid. The rent always gets paid. The car payment gets paid. The insurance gets paid. My food is there. My dog was alive at the time. Life went on. So decisions, either I like it or I don't. I weigh it. Sometimes I'm compulsive and impulsive like everybody, and then I regret it, or I jump in too fast without knowing the facts. And the same thing with relationships, especially with this generation. Everybody's about the sex. Let's get it over with. And then 3 months later, you don't even know if you like them. You don't even know if you're compatible. You don't even know if you want a future. Sex is great, but you're still empty. You're still wanting. It's like the ice cream. You eat all the ice cream. But what's left? I wrote a song called Lust Ain't Love, and it's all about one-night stands. You're still lusting for something. Yeah, you want the love and passion, but what's empty? What's left? It's an empty glass of wine. There's nothing. That's not love. We are here to love. We are here to choose our parents. We choose our parents to learn lessons. It's all about love. I lived in the past like everybody for a long time, because you got to go to the past to figure out the future. Steve Jobs did that. That's how he figured out iPods and to make MP3s, because he analyzed the record industry and how are we going to make it into the tech. He had to go back into time with music and records, but he developed for the future, and now everything's online. And you don't know this, but my father, when he was in business, Steve Jobs bought from my father building Apple. So it's all the generations. So here we are 50 years later, everything's online. This show is going to be online. Who knew that there'd be something online when you're building an idea called a computer? A what? What kind of computer? Well, everybody's going to have a computer. What's an MP3? Well, instead of buying an album, an LP, the plastic, you're going to get it on the computer. Oh, you're crazy. It's never going to happen. It's everywhere. People, same thing with me, psychic. Wicks of wisdom, spiritual candles changing people's lives. You're crazy. It's never going to work. It does. I need investors. I want to take it to another level. If you believe in what you do or feel, just get out there.
Like popular media, science fiction has made us think time travel needs to be.
I question that as time travel or it's reincarnation.
Okay.
For example, Stephen King. Where does he come up with these amazing, scary stories?
Right.
If he hasn't lived it, or it came from a different planet or a different time to give us entertainment. It's not just the imagination. I think it's beyond. Why are the pyramids the way they are? Why are the temples like we saw? We talked yesterday, they're ancient. How many hundreds of people have walked this path, burning their feet on the road? The earth isn't going anywhere, but we come back time and time and time and time again. I know I must have had an Indian incarnation at some point to have me as spiritual as I am, or to feel as comfortable as I do in this country, or like I did at the event, and people drawn. Or I've been given certain wisdom that each culture needs. It's easier. I've worked really hard, banging down doors for years to prove, hey, this is real stuff. Near death, life after death, spirituality, candle magic, psychic abilities, healing, metaphysics. Metaphysics is defined as spirituality and psychology combined. Dr. Carl Jung was one of the first metaphysicians, but he was a psychiatrist. Everybody has their niche. There are some people I want to acknowledge. There's 7 people that helped make this journey of mine really special. There's Storm Monroe, who's one of the biggest YouTubers. He does cultural entertainment from a very sexy slant. I don't want to get into the type of words he uses on the air. And he came to me during lockdown when he used to do a lot of shows on the Kardashians. Storm Monroe found me by researching the Kardashians for an episode on his show. Then he found the candles through Chris, having done my infomercial. So he wanted to know, what are these candles? Is that girl still alive? And he found me. And then he and I developed this relationship after the last 5 years. He flew in from a different state, came to my birthday party. We talked 3 times a week. He's 32 years old. But he's got this amazing show. I told him how to do broadcasting, because everybody thinks, oh, you go on YouTube and you're perfect. No, there's a technique to broadcast. So I helped him. We became friends, and his logo's on the billboard. It's cool. Storm Monroe. There's Dr. Nathan Cohen, who's a chiropractor. He's in his 70s. He heard me on the radio in 2004, 21 years ago. We share patients, clients, both from the homeless to the White House. We've worked with people. He's an amazing healer, but he goes beyond regular chiropractic. Cindy Lesner is a former naval captain who's been a client of mine since 2004 when her husband died, when she was just about to take another exam to go higher in the Navy. And when she called me, I channeled him after he died and helped her. She's in the infomercial. Then there's Shirley Wu, who was my very, very first client off the radio when I started in 1994. I was the first radio psychic. They created the whole radio psychic phenomena based on a station in LA that needed to compete with a love station across town. And I got chosen, and the first night on the air, this girl Shirley called, and I still read her 31 years later. So I established these long-term relationships. There's a girl named Diane Bucci-Goosen whose son was autistic, and she came to me at one time looking for some vitamins, and then we evolved, and she heard my radio show. He committed suicide in 2007 or 8, shot himself at Walmart, took a gun. He's 25 years old, shot himself. And at one point she wanted me to channel Mikey. So there's a whole chapter in a book called The Return of Mikey with me channeling her son. But she documented 20 years of raising an autistic child before autism was really out in the public as a disease and a problem. So I want to thank Diane. And then there's Dana Precious, who started out as a client. A friend of hers was at one of my seminars, and I said, oh, you're going to get a job, you're going to go to Japan. And they're like, what? She's crazy. The next day the girl got the call from Japan, called Dana. Dana called me. I've been working with Dana for about 15 years now. Dana is my co-writer on my book, White Butterfly, story of Dr. Linda. So the book will be coming out and people can pre-order. So all these people have been a part of my journey, and we hold on to each other through life's ups and downs, you know, marriages and love and parents or career or finances or move. It's life. And that's the soul circle. You know, you fit in.
This is your soul circle?
This is a soul circle too. Absolutely, because there's something here with Fortuna that I vibe with, even though you guys are young, but there's a camaraderie, there's a safety, there's a fun, there's an acceptance, but there's a language that's understood. It's not like sometimes you go to a studio, you go to the bank, you go to a restaurant, and you feel like, you know, it just feels odd, or it feels cold, or it feels like, you know, I'm uncomfortable. You know, that's your own radar. Trying to figure out, do I belong here or not?
So you, like the feathers, you know this is the right place, and
Yeah, I've been
things are on
finding
the right
feathers
path.
everywhere I go. If there's no feather, maybe I'm on the wrong path. But that's part of your life too, because how many chapters of people, when you're in grammar school, junior high, high school, college, work, whatever, some people stay with you. Most of them leave when you meet new people. Oh, I'm never gonna. Yes, you do. There's always something, if you're open.
You don't have to wait for another 3-4 years. You are already a celebrity.
I knew I'd make it, but I'd never really thought of coming to India. It's never been like something that was on my bucket list at the moment.
Right.
But thank you for inviting me, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you for coming.